Today, we're going to talk about being ungrateful.
Some of us are living the prayers that we ask for, and yet we still wake up every day and complain. And I don't say this to point fingers because I do it too. But if you just stop for a second and really think about it, the life that you're living right now, at some point you wanted this. You either prayed for it, you hoped for it, you wished for it. And I think what happens is we grow, we move forward, we get out of those old seasons, and instead of stopping to recognize that we made it somewhere, we immediately start focusing on something bigger. We don't pause long enough to say, wait, this is what I asked for. And as long as you didn't stay stuck, as long as you've grown at all from where you were as a teenager or a young adult, you're probably living the life that you wanted. You wanted a home, you wanted a car, you wanted a husband, you wanted kids, you wanted a community and friends, and now here you are. Maybe it doesn't look exactly as you imagined, okay? Maybe your house is messy, maybe the kids are loud. Being a parent is exhausting. The job is hard. And I think that when we are living in that moment, we forget to live in the moment. We forget how bad we wanted something that we complain about right now. Your house might not be your dream home, but it's better than where you started, and it's yours. Your kids may be overwhelming most days, but there are women out there who would give anything to hear little feet running through their house. Your husband might get on your last nerve. If there's a woman out there praying for a partner to love her, or someone to do life with. Your parents might irritate you. There are people that have to go through their life without support and without being able to call and hear that voice. Your friends may not be perfect, but they're there for you. And that matters more than we act like it does. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because we don't like to think of ourselves this way. But a lot of the time, we're not overwhelmed because our life is so bad. We're overwhelmed because we've become ungrateful. And I know that word feels heavy, but I want you to sit with it for just a second. Ungrateful doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you don't love your life. It just means that somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing it clearly. You got used to it. And when we get used to something, we tend to stop appreciating it. We normalize complaining. In fact, we bond over it, we joke about it, we post it, and after a while it becomes our default. It becomes our own normal. We don't even realize that we're doing it anymore. We say, well, I'm just being real. This is honest. But really, we've trained our minds to look for what's wrong instead of what's right. And that mindset will steal your joy faster than anything else. Because two people can live the exact same life, and one will call it a burden, and the other one will call it a blessing. It's the same life, they just have a different lens. And I want to say this too because it matters. Being grateful doesn't mean that everything is perfect, because we're not going to be. You can be tired and still be grateful, overwhelmed and still be grateful. You can be in the worst season and still see all the good that's in your life. This isn't about pretending like everything is amazing, because that's just fake. But this is about refusing to miss what is amazing, because some of us are missing our lives while we're living them. We're so focused on what's not enough, what's not right, what's not ideal, that we're overlooking what is already good right here. And then we wonder why we feel stuck, why we feel drained, why nothing ever feels like enough. It's not always because you need more. Sometimes it's because you've stopped appreciating what you already have. Here's another hard truth that I just had a conversation about maybe 4 days ago. We want things, but we don't want the responsibility that comes with them. We say we want a community, but we don't show up for people. We want people to come to our kid's birthday, but we don't want to go to theirs. We want a strong marriage, but we don't want to put in the work to keep the marriage strong. We want friendships, but we don't want to reach out, nor do we want to be open and vulnerable with someone. So we end up with these very shallow conversations. You want to be healthy and have a particular body, but you don't want to put the work into it. We all want the results without the responsibility. And that mindset will keep you frustrated because everything good in your life is going to require maintenance. Nothing thrives without intention. Not your marriage, not your friendships, not your home, not your kids, not even your own mindset. And if you're not careful, you'll start resenting the very things that need your care. That job you complain about, someone somewhere is praying for that opportunity. The car that you don't like, it still gets you from point A to point B. Somebody's walking. That life you feel overwhelmed about, at one point, you asked for it. And I'm not saying you can't want more, because growth is good and wanting better is good. But there's a difference between growing and constantly living in dissatisfaction. If you can't be grateful where you are, you're not going to suddenly become grateful when you get more. Gratitude isn't tied to your circumstances. It's tied to your perspective. So maybe today isn't about changing your life. Maybe it's about changing how you see it. Maybe it's about slowing down long enough to recognize I have all things I once prayed for. I have the things that someone else is still praying for. And maybe it's about asking yourself, when was the last time I actually said thank you? And I'm not talking about like in passing or really quickly like, oh, thank you. I mean, truly paused and felt it. Because gratitude will shift your entire day if you let it. It will soften your attitude. It will change how you respond to your children. It's going to change how you speak to your spouse. It'll change how you show up in your life. Not because anything around you changed, but because you did. So before you reach for your phone in the morning, before you start listing out all the things you have to do, I want you to try this. I want you to name 3 things you're grateful for. You ain't got to get a pen out and write it down. And even if they feel small, especially if they feel small, because those little things, they're not small. They're pieces of a life you once wanted. And you don't want to be the person who one day finally gets what they prayed for and you missed it. Don't miss your life while you're living it. It's like that old saying, the grass isn't greener on the other side. You just needed to water yours. So I want you to take this time and embrace the beauty of your life that you probably don't even realize you once wished for. So take this moment and just live in the moment. Go appreciate that messy house. Appreciate your noisy kids. Be grateful for your annoying spouse. Take a moment and remember there's somebody out there who would love to have what you have. And they're still working trying to get it. And it's okay to grow, but make sure you're grateful for where you're at. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon.